Hi everyone, my name is Annie and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the Jedi Code. The Jedi Code is something that's always bothered me a little bit in the way that it's written, the way that it's phrased, and I think it gets to the core of why a lot of Jedi fall to the dark side and why the Order is so problematic at times. So I decided to rewrite it, rework the Jedi Code in a way that I feel truly matches the ideals of the Jedi. And in order to do that, I took inspiration from the character I agree the most with in the Star Wars universe, and that is Jolee Bindo. So I know that Jolee isn't technically canon. Thanks for that. But I'm going to be talking mostly about his ideas and what he stands for regarding the Jedi, the Force, and the Jedi Code. And while you can erase a character from canon, you can't really erase someone's ideas, especially when they're so intrinsically connected with the universe and the Force and the Jedi. Without further ado, let's get into it. So first, let's take a look at the original Jedi Code. And when I say original, I mean the version that is presented formally as the Jedi Code in the Knights of the Old Republic video games, and the main version that comes up when you search for the Jedi Code. And it goes, "There is no emotion, there is peace. There is no ignorance, there is knowledge. There is no passion, there is serenity. There is no chaos, there is harmony. There is no death, there is the Force." So at a first glance, the code really hits all the landmarks for things that Jedi stand for. Peace, serenity, knowledge, harmony, and a very strong connection to the Force, even after death. But as you think more about it, there's something about the way that it's phrased that really kind of thwarts these ideals, and that is the "there is no" and "there is" phrasing that goes throughout the code. And the way that it's phrased kind of takes away any gray area between the two things that is putting against each other. So there's nothing between emotion and peace. There is no emotion, there is peace. There's nothing in between. And that is a very absolute nature of looking at the universe. And as we all know, only a Sith deals in absolutes. So while it really makes all these very important Jedi ideals stand out, the code doesn't really allow for the Jedi to really express themselves as people, because it excludes half of everything. When you exclude emotion, passion, ignorance, chaos, you are aiming towards a perfect person, a person that doesn't feel any of these things, a person that only has knowledge, that is not ignorant, that knows everything and doesn't feel any pull towards more emotional things, more passion, and things that could eventually lead to the dark side. But Jedi are people, and people are not cardboard cutouts of a serene, emotionless being that is completely lawful good and doesn't do any wrong. So I feel like the wording of the Jedi Code and its absolute nature kind of takes away the ability to express things that might not be perfectly in tune with Jedi values, and things that are part of any human being. So for example, let's take Anakin, who fell to the dark side because I feel he couldn't really express anything that was going on inside him. Because when he went to any of the masters, what would they say when he said he had fear, when he said he had anger? They would say there is no emotion, there is peace. Not exactly in these words. They would basically say shut off those emotions and feel the just peaceful, be serene. And I feel like when you do that to any person, it doesn't quite work. There's the lack of ability to express yourself really can lead to the dark side. And I feel that the code really reflects the Order's fear of falling to the dark side, because it completely shuts off anything that might eventually lead to falling. So passion, emotion, and yes, those things can lead a Jedi to dark side, but only if they're not dealt with and expressed and talked about. So I think that ironically, it's an emotion, the fear of falling, that leads to an emotionless code. So when reworking it, my first priority was to change this language, And I took inspiration from another version of the code that goes emotion yet peace, ignorance yet knowledge, and so on. And I feel like this version already gets to a much better way of thinking about the Jedi, because it admits that a Jedi will come from a point of emotion and eventually reach peace, will come from ignorance and eventually reach knowledge. So I like that a lot better. I like that it admits that Jedi can have flaws and that they can evolve from something to another. But I also feel like the Jedi Code is missing something very important, and that is regarding love. And that's when Jolee Bindo comes in, and who better to express his opinions than himself, so let's take a look at that.
The Jedi, with their damnable sense of over-caution, would tell you love is something to avoid. Thankfully, anyone who's even partially alive knows that's not true. Love doesn't lead to the dark side. Passion can lead to rage and fear, and can be controlled. But passion is not the same thing as love. Controlling your passions while being in love, that's what they should teach you to beware. But love itself will save you, not condemn you.
So I really love how Jolee talks about, well, love and passion and makes a distinction between them. And the way he says that love is really important to any being, and it really defines who you are as a person. And by repressing love, you're only repressing someone's individuality. I think that is very important, and that is a place that the Jedi Code really fails, is that repression of love and emotion that is necessary to any being. I also really like how he talks about passion, and how passion, yes, it can lead to the dark side, but only if you don't know how to deal with it. And you only learn how to deal with passion if you're not completely indoctrinated in a code that pretends it's not real. When you say there is no passion, there's serenity, you will never learn how to deal with passion if and when it comes about. So based on these two things, Jolee's ideas on love, passion, and the Force, and the idea of rephrasing the Jedi Code, I came up with this. In emotion, find peace. In ignorance, seek knowledge. In passion, learn serenity. In chaos, search for harmony. In love, understand the light. In death, become one with the Force. So you'll notice that I maintained the words of the original code. I maintained all the values of peace, knowledge, serenity, harmony, and I also maintain the things that the original code denies. But instead of doing that, like the other version of the code I discussed, it starts from a standpoint that admits that every Jedi will feel all these things. Jedi will feel emotion, they will feel ignorance, passion, chaos, and from these things they can proceed to learning the Jedi ideals. Only from being in touch with your emotions and knowing what your passions are will you truly be able to be serene, to be peaceful, and to understand the real values of the Jedi Code. The line I added, in love, understand the light, I feel like it's a direct reflection of what Jolee stands for. I think it's really important to highlight that love really is part of every human being or any alien that might be a Jedi. And only through love, which is one of the, like Jolee says, it's key. Only through that you will really understand the light and what the light side is about. I also feel like the changing of the phrasing avoids the creation of complete opposites. So the original code would kind of do a versus, emotion and peace, serenity and passion. It would present them as complete opposites, and I don't think they are opposites. As I said, I think every one of these elements of the Jedi Code feeds off each other. Emotion will lead to peace, and without emotion you cannot find peace because you need a place to start with. So I feel like this new phrasing stops the creation of duality and absolutes and opposites in the Jedi Code, but instead it creates a circle, more of a fluid nature of the code. So yeah, again, this is my interpretation of the Jedi Code. Everyone, it's like poetry. You can interpret it in any way you'd like, and this is the way I see it, and this is the way I wrote it in my version. So do you agree with it? If you don't, please leave a comment. Please let me know what you think. and how you interpret the code yourself. I think it's a very interesting discussion, and it really gets the core of what it means to be a Jedi. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please feel free to leave a like and subscribe to my channel. I will bring you more content like this very soon. Again, thank you so much for watching.
There I go, waxing philosophical again. Somebody blast me already. Let's get going before I start talking in riddles, damn it.